You can let that breathe for 10 minutes. All looking good. I'll come back and I'll dress them.
Do you see? These are interaction nodes. If I use this finger, I can open all the doors at work, no ID. And if I just scan this in a shop, I can pay for anything up to £1,000. And look, Dad, Mom, I've just taken your photo.
This is an interesting little video put out by BBC, basically showing transhumanism and the technical future that we have waiting for us with the Mark of the Beast digital passports.
So, what about your head?
Can't feel a thing. They inserted the tiniest wafer into my brain. And, oh my God, look at the result. Synced us up. No keyboard. I don't need a keyboard ever again.
You did that by thinking?
It can't read my mind. Not yet, but the wafer tracks activity in the neural pathway and micro movements in the retina to predict what I'm thinking.
But that is reading your mind.
That's interesting. It's in my brain. It can help me take pictures. It can help me do all sorts of AI-like stuff, because I'm a transhuman. But don't worry, the chip has no idea what I'm thinking. Okay.
There's Aunt Rosie. She's at home. Lincoln's in school. Lee's not in school. Should be. Where is he? In the park. Don't tell Rosie. Gran's at home in the kitchen. What a surprise. Let's find Ruby. She's in a bar called the Marine Tide and she's just bought a bottle of House White for £56.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
56 quid for the House White.
Oh good, now our transhuman friends and family can keep tabs on us. Woohoo!
Did it go, Beth? How are you? Did it work? Are you completely synced up now?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm with Mum and Dad and I've just realised you're in trouble.
You should be in college.
56 quid.
For God's sake, Bethany!
That is amazing. And a little bit like spying. What if I didn't want you tracking me?
Well, that's a good question. Now, can you imagine? What if your father was having an affair or something?
Okay.
You're in my contacts. That's permission according to the law.
Ah, bloody hell. Sorry, I'm not British, but I've always loved that saying. I can't believe it's considered permission just because he's in her contacts. So think about if we have these humans in the future. Just by you being in their contacts, they're able to spy on you and release that information.
Okay.
You're in my contacts. That's permission according to the law.
But I still don't understand. You can run software like this from a keyboard. So why do you need the operation?
I'm trying to explain it in ways you can understand, but the connection is so much more. While we were talking, at exactly the same time, I wondered about the 80 days of rain, where it came from, why it was, what comes next. And I keyed into satellites just 30 seconds ago, so I can see the course of El Nino, and I can tap into pressure sensors along the Atlantic coast and barometric readings from the ships at sea. If I put all of that together, I'm there. I'm inside it, the tide, the depth of the sea and the curl of the waves within me. And right now in Charles Street, Pasadena, 15-year-old girl called Effany Cross has written her first song and put it online and she's got the sweetest voice. So when I combine all of that, it's joy. In my head, it is absolute joy.
That sounds intensely overwhelming. And to have social media upload into your brain like that, social media is not good for you. I quit all social media except for YouTube here so that I could continue to share the news of how humans are progressing with you. But I would definitely not want to know when anything is uploaded around the world. Imagine all those little dings in your head. This uploaded, this uploaded. Oh, do you like music? Here's music. Sounds like it's going to cause a lot of ADHD. Or do chips eliminate ADHD? I'm not entirely sure on the psychology of this. Even though I'm a psychology major, I don't deal in the tech world.
I don't think you'd have to be a genius to know that the last thing the Horn of Africa needs is more foreign military bases, more weapons and more European meddling. What we call our strategic relationship isn't about human flourishing, it's about the EU's ambitions as a superpower. There's now a new great game in the Horn of Africa. Greater and lesser powers are pockmarking the place with military bases. France, the US, China, Germany, Japan, Italy, Saudi Arabia all have a presence in the tiny area of Djibouti alone. Mercenaries are swarming in from all quarters. The entire region is being militarised. War is in the air. And what about the people facing climate and food insecurity? None of this benefits them. We talk about instability, but we only make it worse. We flood the place with weapons, hand over the profits to European arms companies and charge the bill to our citizens. And then with the carnage, we go back in and we do it all again. It's a racket. Strategic relationship, it's one thing after another, isn't it? Really, it's the same as it ever was. And all I can say is God save Africa from Europeans offering help.
As we progress towards a one-world government, in all the books that have been written over the ages about the New World Order and this coming change, they have described the US losing their superpower and other countries becoming superpowers before we all become one. So it looks like Britain is already trying to become that superpower, trying to take over Africa, and they aren't the only ones. I feel really bad for the African people right now, because when nations like this decide that they want a piece of you, they never leave you alone.
Can I get outside security?
What the fuck?
You need to get out, sir. You need to get out.
What the?
So my question is, does that crackhead identify as a frozen burrito, or why besides drugs? Maybe that's the only reason we need is drugs. But I just thought I would share that with you guys because I thought it was really funny. I also like how he's like, it's really cold in there. Well, yeah, no shit. It's a freezer.
But it is going to bother you because you're human. And I was human. I am human. But it is going to bother you because you're human. And I was human. I am human.
A robo-Freudian slip. All right. Well, at least he used to be human.
Malaysia's former Prime Minister, Dr. Mahathir Mohamad, said that the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or TPPA, is a New World Order strategy by a powerful pact of people led by the US.
Well, that's kind of him to give us credit, but really, it's the UN's effort. It's the UN as a whole. We really must thank the UN for this hell. And did you notice that he said a new world order? There's a reason why they keep saying this, and it's preposterous that people are still going, there's no such thing as a new world order. They keep saying it. They keep telling it to you. You don't believe your own ears unless somebody's telling you to shove a mask on your face and inject yourself with stuff. Like, that doesn't make any damn sense.
Well, I'm not sure you should assume I'm not corrupt, but thank you for that, though. The system does produce corruption, and I think implicit in the system is corruption, when in fact, whether or not you can run for public office, and it costs a great deal of money to run for the United States Senate, even from a small state like Delaware, you have to go to those people who have money, and they always want something.
That must be the most true thing Biden has ever said in his life. But why does younger Biden seem so much different? He seems almost like an okay dude at times. There's a lot of him telling the truth, a lot of him making actual sense, which just is baffling to me. I mean, I know that he's a lot older right now, but the clone theories, the robot theories, they're all starting to get to me because they make more sense than Biden does. I'm like, he must be something other than human.
They're creating a world government mark of the beast. 2.2 billion people just got told they can't use certain words. They're announcing giant cult-like brainwashing. They're teaching 5-year-olds how to suck cock in public school. They are sitting there doing everything you could ever freaking imagine, killing babies after they're born. And the churches are such Pharisees, they're worried that I just talked about sucking cock instead of killing babies.
When the moral foundations of a society fall, the society falls. Those are the kind of horrible experiments they're doing to mice, so they say that they don't have to use human test subjects, but then we see them using human test subjects every day for medical procedures. So why are we torturing these poor mice? What are we going to learn from that?
All right, one of the more concerning aspects of chronic hypercapnia is acidosis. This is the increase of carbonic acid as you put CO2 into the system. And we know that when the body becomes chronically acidic, it is permissive for cancer. How do we know this? Because we see it in the COPD model that they have higher rates of cancer due to chronic hypercapnia. We've already seen skyrocketing increases in the rates of cancer in our children. Our school is in a very small town, and the whole time I've been there have been at least 3 children at any given time with cancer in a school of 300 children. That alone is not acceptable, and we should be looking at why. And then we're going to mask our children, knowing that if they have cancer, it's going to be very permissive and feed that cancer, knowing that it may be permissive for getting cancer because we are 2.5 years out. When are we going to stand up?
Round of applause for Dr. Parks. Indeed, when are we going to stand up? When are people going to stop being so brainwashed? Is it possible for people to escape this brainwashing? We've seen breakthrough cases of people escaping the brainwashing. But is it possible on a wide scale? On a mass scale? I don't know. I like to believe so, but I don't know if I believe so.